By popular demand, I'm doing a video here on whale hunting. And what do I mean by whale? Let me first define that. What I mean by whale are not $1 million accounts. I don't mean the 50,000 a month SEO campaign or the, business that needs a $100,000 website. I mean the deals that are, say, between 10 and 35,000, somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe 10 to 50,000, something like, in that range where they're big, pretty meaty deals. They're not like whales, but they're big relative to small agencies, and they're huge for resellers to get. These are the kind of accounts that, for a little guy who's just getting started, are life-changing. You sell an SEO campaign to somebody where, it's going to be, say, a $10,000 a month SEO campaign, and, you're buying it for $3,000 a month. Okay, all of a sudden, you've got $7,000 a month in the black. That is a good month, and that's a great account to get. Now, on this note, what's my advice? How do you land these whales? Where do you find these whales? Well, whales exist everywhere in this size. Small manufacturers, restaurants that are multi-location, certain plastic surgery practices, certain legal practices. They're around, and they're pretty much all over the country. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people out there that are spending big money on internet marketing on a monthly basis and will pay huge money for development services. These are not by any means rare. However, landing these kind of clients is not really that easy, because if you're a client, you're going to spend $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, even if it's in a one-time shot, let alone on a month-to-month basis. You're going to want to really know who you're dealing with pretty well. And what do I mean by know who you're dealing with? Well, in my experience, whale clients with that kind of money, generally speaking, are not going to take the risk of just throwing their cash at some guy who's, new to the industry, somebody who just got started, somebody who doesn't talk the talk or walk the walk or know what they're talking about too well. Because it's a waste of money, and people who are successful, contrary to popular belief, are generally not morons. They got to be successful, most of them, by being intelligent. They stayed successful by being wise. So they do not take their money and just chuck it at somebody on a whim and hope that it works. They want to know and see your portfolio, and they want to talk to you, and they want to know that they're dealing with somebody intelligible. That's if they're even if it's a technical deal. Quite often, in addition to that, they want to work with somebody who's going to look out for them. They want a relationship with that account. They want a relationship with that vendor. They don't want to just, deal with somebody in a cold, unfamiliar way that, treats them like any other client. If they wanted that, they'd go to a big New York ad agency where they are a small client. So landing these kind of accounts really takes some time. And this is where a lot of people are mistaken. A lot of people are shooting themselves in the feet, so to speak, because a lot of people start up as resellers and they see these whale accounts and they go, yeah, I can sell a deal for $30,000 for a website. And they go and they hunt for whales, and they ignore all the deals in between. They ignore the $1,000 deal, the $3,000, the $5,000, the $10,000, the $15,000, whatever, the smaller deals that are incredibly prevalent and all over the place. And they wind up not getting a whale client, because when they do encounter a whale, they'll even give them the time of day. That person looks at them and says, where are all your clients? Where's your portfolio? You don't know what you're talking about. You sound like a rookie. And you are a rookie because you haven't processed a lot of deals. You don't know what you're talking about, and you don't have your stuff together. So my advice on whales, broadly speaking, is focus on building a portfolio of business, building a book of business, and then, only then, when you're ready, start to whale hunt, and do it in this manner. Go and build yourself up a professional network on LinkedIn. Go there, talk to people, add contacts, start to branch out and to build yourself a group and a network of people that can help and facilitate your reputation being large enough to interface easily with these whale clients. Spend time, work on your own marketing and your own website. Treat yourself as your first and most important client, because you are. If your internet marketing isn't together, if your site's not together, if your stuff looks like crap, you're not going to land anybody at all. And the better you look and the more professional you are, the better off you are. Invest your money wisely in things like press releases. Invest your money in doing, online blogging, having internet marketing done for you in a wide variety of ways. Have a social presence. Basically, follow best practices across the boards so that you get yourself out there, so that when a client comes along that has a lot of money to spend and is looking for that boutique experience of somebody who's going to work with them and really take care of their business, they take you seriously. Basically, you need to build up your credibility before you whale hunt. If you go out there whale hunting with no credibility, no portfolio, you stand, a snowball's chance in hell. And that's not good odds. Business is about, educated gambling. It's about stacking the deck in your favor. And to stack the deck really in your favor, to land those big accounts, you really need to spend the time and pay your dues. And I know people will disagree with me, will say, no, that's not true. You can land a big deal with, whatever. I know a guy who did it. There's lots of people who will say it. There's tons of naysayers. I'm used to it. I've heard naysayers for years. And you know what I noticed? Naysayers are never the people with those accounts, because landing those accounts, again, takes credibility. And what I'm telling you is not something that's like a magic formula by any means. It's a simple recipe that requires a lot of elbow grease and hard work. But ultimately, if you're looking to stay in this industry and really make a lot of money and build yourself a real legitimate business that's worth something at the end of the day, you're going to invest that effort. You're going to take your time. You're going to do stuff right. And that, again, and I've done other videos on this, this does not mean that, you're going to be poor all up until you land the whale. And, totally the opposite of that. Most people's agency growth is a linear curve. It starts low and it just arcs up, because as they sell more clients, they get more credibility, which gives them more clients, and it snowballs on itself. It compounds, and eventually they have deals that are coming to them. I know a lot of agencies that do barely any marketing at all, just a little tiny push of marketing, because they've been in business for 10, 15 years or more, and they don't have to push a lot. They have clients galore. The clients are always coming back to them with new projects they need done, and they go to them because they trust them and they know that they're going to do a good job. There are lots and lots and lots of agencies like that. That is what you need to aspire to. The kind of agency that is, not a lot of work. You can run it from anywhere in the world. You have a passive income from it that's tremendous, and it's nice and stable and secure. And nobody is going to just walk up and stomp you out of business. You're not going to lose that single client and be devastated, because that's another thing that's really dangerous about whales that a lot of people don't see. And, these are more institutional whales where it's really dangerous, but it's dangerous with any whale at all. I've seen lots of businesses that had a handful of clients, like say 3 or 4 clients that were massive, that were 80-90% of the business of that agency, and they lose 1 or 2 of them, and suddenly the books don't balance and they're going out of business in 6 weeks. You don't want to be in that position. That's not a good position to be in for any business, and it's unfortunately a major vulnerability in this industry. If you build your agency upon that, the handful of relationships with a handful of clients, you can be dropped at any time and, be in really deep trouble. People try to secure themselves against it by having multi-year contracts and, different forms of billing and stuff. But at the end of the day, there's no protection. If a client goes kaput and they can't pay you, they can't pay you. And it happens, and it is a reality. My advice, again, I always am going to encourage you to do the responsible, stable thing, which is build your business slowly, build it as fast as you can, but don't think that you have to make Rome in a day, because it won't get there. And at the end of the day, you have to live with what you construct, and you have to, rely upon it. So build yourself a house of stone and be happy inside. Anyhow, that's going to wrap up this video. That's my take on whale hunting and my 2 cents about it. If you like this vid and you want to see more like it, go ahead and sub to the channel. Go ahead and click that bell to be notified when we drop new vids, because we do it all the time. I'll see you in the next one.